For 7 years. I cooked, I cleaned, I prayed, I wept. For 7 years, I sat at a table where the woman serving me food was the same woman praying for my grave. I didn't know it then. But my body knew. My womb knew. My bones knew. This is not a story of hatred. This is a story of what wickedness can hide behind a smile, and what love, even from beyond the grave, can reveal. My name is Ruth, and this is the truth I was never supposed to live to tell. The day I married Kelvin, I thought I had married a family. His mother, Grace, she danced at our wedding. She wore also a big collar of burnt gold, and she hugged me so tightly I thought she had accepted me as her daughter. I was 23 years old. I was full of hope. What I did not know then is that some women smile the widest when they are already building your destruction. The first warning came 3 days after the wedding. Not from a person. From my own stomach. Kelvin and I moved into the family compound in Port Harcourt, my in-laws' main house, because Kelvin had not yet completed his own building. It was supposed to be temporary. 6 months, he said. Maybe a year. That 1 year became 3. Then 5. Then 7. And every single day, Grace insisted on cooking for the household. "You are too young," she said. "You don't know how to cook for my son. Let me take care of the kitchen." I was grateful. God forgive me, I was grateful. In the first year, I began to feel off. Small things. Stomach cramps that came and went. Headaches in the morning. A tiredness that sleep couldn't fix. The doctor said stress. Adjustment to married life. Low iron. Take these vitamins. I took the vitamins. I continued eating Grace food. I continued feeling sick. I told Kelvin. He said, "My mother has cooked for this family for 40 years. Are you saying her food is the problem?" I stayed quiet. That is what we do, isn't it? We stay quiet and we suffer and we call it endurance. By our 3rd year of marriage, the community had started to talk. Ruth has not given Kelvin a child. Maybe she is barren. Maybe she brought a curse from her father's house. The whispers were knives. And the person who handed those knives to the community was Mama Grace. She would weep, oh, she would cry so beautifully, and say, "I don't know what is wrong with my son's wife. I pray every day for her womb to open." But at night, I now know, she was praying for the opposite. Kelvin loved his mother the way men in this part of the world are taught to love their mothers, completely, without question, without examination. When I tried to speak, he heard complaint. When I cried, he heard ingratitude. One night, I will never forget it, I told him my food tasted strange. Metallic. Bitter at the edge. He tasted his own plate. "It tastes fine to me," he said. Later, I would discover why. Mama Grace prepared our plates separately. Hers for him. Hers, modified, for me. By year 5, I had been to 4 different hospitals. My weight had dropped. My hair was thinning. I had lost 2 pregnancies, both in the first trimester, and neither the doctors nor I understood why. The last doctor said, "Mrs. Ruth, your body is fighting something. We need to do more comprehensive tests." I agreed. But Mama Grace came with me that day. She sat in the consultation room. She held my hand. She nodded at everything the doctor said. And when we got home, the food she cooked that evening was the most elaborate meal she had ever made. Pepper soup, egusi, ofoda rice. I ate all of it. I said thank you. I went to bed with a full stomach and empty eyes. To the outside world, Mama Grace was a saint. She led the women's prayer group at church every Thursday. She donated food to the orphanage on her birthday. She visited the sick. She counseled young couples. She was respected in 4 local government areas. People would say, "Ruth, you are so lucky to have a mother-in-law like that." I would smile. Because what else could I say? Actually, I think she is slowly killing me. No. You smile. And you eat the food. And you say thank you. And you die quietly. By the 6th year, I had stopped hoping. Not just for a child. I had stopped hoping for health. For happiness. For my own life. I remember sitting on the floor of my bathroom in October. I don't know how long I sat there, and thinking, maybe this is just what my life is. Maybe I am one of those women God forgot to bless. That night I prayed, but not the kind of prayer with words. The kind where you just open your chest to the sky and say, "If you are there, please. I am tired." 3 nights after that bathroom floor prayer, she came. My grandmother, Mama Agnes, who had died 11 years ago. In the dream, I was standing in her old kitchen, the one in ODI, with the clay walls and the red ceiling, and she was standing at her old fireside, stirring a pot. She looked exactly as I remembered her. White wrapper, silver earrings, the same hands. She didn't look at me at first. She just stared. Then she said, and I can still hear her voice as I tell you this, she said, "My child, you have been eating your enemy's prayer for 6 years. Come. Let me show you something." She took my hand and led me to the pot. And when I looked inside, it was not soup. It was a swirling, dark water, and in it I could see roots. Black roots. And something wrapped in a red cloth. My grandmother said, "This is not your pot. This is not your kitchen. But this poison has been served to you in your own home. Your womb has been bound, my child. Your blood has been made to war against itself. But the one who bound you has grown careless. She has kept the evidence where her pride could admire it. Look in the ceiling above the kitchen. Look in the rafters, behind the yam store. Tear it down, Ruth. Tear it down and bring it to the light." And then she was gone. And I woke up, screaming. I sat up in that bed at 3 a.m. and I was shaking. I told myself, it was just a dream. I told myself, grief makes us see our dead. I told myself, Mama Agnes has been gone 11 years, she cannot speak to me. But my hands would not stop shaking. And something in my chest, something I cannot name, said, "Go. Go now. Before the sun rises." Kelvin was asleep beside me. I slid out of the bed. I put on my slippers. And for the first time in 6 years, I walked into that kitchen not as a guest in my own home, but as a woman who finally had a reason to look. I searched that kitchen the way only a desperate woman searches. Every cabinet. Every shelf. Every corner. My hands were trembling so badly I knocked over a cup and it shattered on the floor. I froze. Waited. Nobody came. Then I remembered the rafters behind the yam store. We had a low ceiling section above the kitchen storage, the older part of the house. I climbed on a stool. I reached into the darkness. And my hand touched something. Something wrapped in cloth. Something that had no business being there. Something that smelled like the inside of a place where terrible things are made. I sat on the kitchen floor with that bundle in my hands. I did not open it immediately. I sat with it. It was a red cloth, the exact red cloth from my dream. Tied with black thread. Knotted 7 times, I counted. Inside, when I finally opened it, a photograph of me. My wedding photo, torn in half. Roots, 3 kinds, dried and dark. A small bottle with something brown and thick. And a piece of paper with my name written on it 7 times. With something pressed between each line. I did not need a prophet to interpret what I was holding. I had spent 6 years believing my body was my enemy. Now I knew, my enemy had a face. And I had eaten her prayers every single day. I went to wake my husband. And I want you to understand, I had spent 6 years being told I was too sensitive, too suspicious, too dramatic. So when I stood over his sleeping body holding that bundle in my hands, every part of me was afraid he would look at it and still find a way to defend her. I touched his shoulder. He opened his eyes. I said nothing. I placed it on the bed in front of him. He sat up slowly. He looked at it. He said, "Where did you find this?" I said, "In your mother's kitchen. In the rafters behind the yam store." The silence that followed was the longest silence of my life. Then Kelvin began to cry. I will not say everything that happened that morning. Some things are too sacred or too painful to fully recount. But I will tell you, Kelvin confronted his mother. And for the first 30 seconds, she denied it. The way only a person who has practiced the life for years can deny, smoothly, with tears, with scripture. Then Kelvin placed the photograph on the table. The torn wedding photo, my face separated from his, with something written on the back. Mama Grace looked at it. And in that moment, the mask fell. She didn't confess with words. She confessed with her face. Some silences say everything. Kelvin picked up his phone and called his uncle, his aunt, 2 family elders. He said, "Come to this house. Now. There is something this family must settle." By 8 a.m., the compound was full. Elders, aunties, uncles, cousins who had not spoken in years. The bundle was placed on the table in the middle of the sitting room. 3 elders examined it. The eldest, a man of 80-something, Papa John, he looked at it for a long time. He said, "This work was made for slow destruction. For the womb to be dry. For the body to waste. For the spirit to break. Whoever put this in this house did not want this woman to live. They wanted her to die quietly and be blamed for her own death." The room went silent. And then the crying started. Later, much later, we would learn the full story. Mama Grace had chosen a different wife for Kelvin before me. A girl from her hometown. A girl whose family had connections she coveted. When Kelvin chose me instead, a stranger, from a different state, she never forgave him. She never forgave me. In her mind, I was the thief who had stolen her plan for her son's life. And so she went, quietly, to someone who told her they could unbind what love had bound. Envy. Not love for her son. Not protection. Just envy, dressed in 7 years of hot pepper soup and smiling eyes. That is the most terrifying thing I learned. The most dangerous evil wears an apron and feeds you with a mother's hands. It has been 14 months since that morning. I want to tell you what happened after, because too many stories of suffering end with just the exposure. The charm was destroyed by the elders, with prayer, in the traditional manner. We left the compound that same day. Kelvin carried our bags himself. I spent 3 months in my parents' home in Enugu. I ate my mother's food. I slept without fear. I laughed for the first time in what felt like a decade. In the 4th month, I went back to the doctor. My iron had improved. My weight was returning. My doctor said, "Mrs. Ruth, whatever you changed, keep doing it." In the 7th month, I took a pregnancy test. I could not believe the result. I took 3 more. They all said the same thing. My daughter was born on a Tuesday, January 1st, 2024. We named her Agnes, the name of my grandmother who came back from the dead to save us. People ask me, "Do you believe the dream was real?" And I always say the same thing. I believe that somewhere in the fabric of what we cannot see, the people who loved us continue to love us. I believe that wickedness, no matter how long it hides behind warmth, cannot survive the light. I believe that my body was never my enemy, it was a weakness, waiting for someone to finally listen. As for Mama Grace, I have not seen her since the morning of the confrontation. I bear her no hatred. Hatred is a second poison, and I have already survived one. But I will tell you this. If you are watching this and your body is speaking to you, listen. If your womb is closed and your spirit is tired and you cannot understand why, look around your table. Look at who is feeding you. And if your ancestors have not spoken to you in a dream yet, ask them to. Ruth sends her love. Thank you for watching. Please share this story, someone needs to hear it.